What you're actually seeing here is the first of many videos of how to build a program, and in this instance this is the first motor control circuit that we did, which is a momentary start button that then feeds a coil. There's no holding circuit involved, it's just being able to convert the motor control circuit into a logic circuit so the PLC can see it. So how this works, let's see, we just clicked on the icon on our desktop and brought us into So Machine Basic, and this is the first screen that you see. So what we need to do is pick our PLC, and this particular PLC is not the one that we want. So I'm going to get this out of the way, and what you're going to see is a bunch of PLCs up in this upper right hand corner. So up in this upper right hand corner, you're going to notice that the first one that comes up on the screen is the one that we have in our labs. So we're going to take this and we're going to click on it and drag it all the way over to where the other PLC is, which is right there, and we're going to drop it. It's going to ask you, do you want to change the PLC, pretty much, and we're going to say yes. Now that the PLC is picked, we can then go to programming. So if you look at the top of your screen, you'll see an icon that says programming. We'll click on that. Now, just to get through some of these basic programs, we're going to go pretty quick and get to the other features later. So, PLC doesn't see push buttons. It doesn't see switches. All it sees are open and closed contacts of various forms. So we know a start button is normally open. There it is. So click on that, and you'll pull your mouse down, and it's going to leave it on rung 0. Rung 0 is the first rung that we're going to start off with, and we're going to click it there. So as you know, in PLC and logic, we always start off with 0 and everything, including our inputs and outputs. So now that we have our contact picked, you're going to notice when you move your mouse around, it continues to hold on to that contact that you picked. We're going to clear this so that we're not dragging this around and dropping it inadvertently in different places in the circuit. And the way to do that is to bring your mouse up to this little arrow and click on that arrow. That just clears all of our function. So now we're free to pick what looks like a coil. So if you pull your mouse over here, you're going to see a symbol that resembles a coil, very similar to motor logics or motor controls. So we're going to click on that. Now you're going to pull your mouse over to this line, and you're going to notice that it's going to want to automatically connect it to the contact line. Click your mouse once again, and then it drags it all the way to the end, as it should. What you'll also notice is that I'm dragging around this contact again, so I'm going to go up and clear it with the arrow. So one thing to take note of is we've got one rung built. It resembles the motor control logic. We have an open contact to a coil, but like motor controls, nothing works unless it's labeled correctly. So at the top of your screen, you're going to notice where it says program error. It's because we're not finished. A couple ways that we can add a name to these. First way I'm going to show you for now in this video is you're going to click on the word address right above the contact. Click once, click twice. You'll see a % symbol come up. All PLCs have it. What we're looking for is an input number. So what you need to do is press I. Once you press I, all your available inputs will come up. We're going to use input 0.0 because it's the very first one. Let's just work from the bottom up. So now we have input 0.0. That's in its place. We got to do the same for the coil, except in this language we'll click on address once, click on it twice, % symbol comes up. Outputs are known as Qs. So we will click on Q. We're going to pick the first output, which is Q 0.0. Now that's good, and if you look at the top of your screen, there is no longer an error. So that's telling us that this program is ready to run or simulate. It's pretty happy with what it sees. Bring your mouse all the way to the top of the page, right next to the no error symbol, and you're going to see Launch Simulator. Click on that. And in a moment, once this loads, at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see what resembles the front of the PLC. And it's basically a series of indicator lights and you're able to press the input or press the output and get to the program. A second. Let this load. So now, hopefully you see what's on the screen. You're going to notice we have a run light that's blinking away like mad. And in order to clear that, we actually have to go back up to the top of the screen and hit this play button. Once we hit this play button, the run is going to say, are you ready to run the controller? We're going to hit OK. And then on the bottom in this screen, that run light went away. Now it's solid. Now what I want to do is I'm going to initiate this first input. So notice this column says input, this column says output. Eventually we'll hopefully deal with analogs and we'll get to the other column in advanced. But for now we're going to drive this first input, which is basically like pressing the start button. We're going to press it once and you're going to see your circuit becomes true. So right now you've got a path for current flow, and if you come over back and look at your coil is energized and the circuit works. The cool thing about this is you're seeing things in real time. So now we're going to show you how to transfer this program over to the controller. So we'll unclick this, show you that the contacts went back to their normal position, nothing's energized. We're going to go up to the top of the screen where the launch simulator was, and we're going to stop the simulator. We'll lose that bottom drop down screen. Once that simulator stops, now we're going to go over to an icon that's called commission. So if we come over here, we want to transfer this program. First thing we need to take note of though is we have to plug in our USB port into our PLC before we do this. I'm doing that right now on the side of my computer, plugging this in, and now I'm going to hit commission. First thing you see on this screen all the way over to the left is you see your M22 controller. That's our PLC. We're going to click on that and it'll get dark. We're going to go over to the right and we're going to hit log in. Once we log in, you're going to see two icons come up, so long as you don't have the same program on your PLC that you're trying to transfer. And we do. We see PC to controller. That's what we want. We want to go from the computer to the controller. Your controller is your PLC. So we want to transfer this program that we just made over to the controller. Click OK. It's asking you if you want to transfer it over there. It's asking you if you want to override your previous program in the PLC. We do. And a couple things you're going to see. It's clicking away, waiting. If I come over to my PLC, you'll see that that bottom set of LEDs is blinking. It's because it wants you to hit start controller. So if I come back over here, I look for that icon, start controller. I'm going to launch it. Now I'm going to come back up and I have a solid green light, solid run light on my PLC, which means it's ready to be actually working. So the next video you're going to see the lab actually work in the trainer, and you can go to programming once we see this. So when I go back to programming, I'll be able to hit my start button in the field and that will work, and you can kind of see how that's actually working right now. So pretty cool, and you can see it live. You can disconnect your USB port, your cord right now, and the program is permanently saved inside your PLC. So we'll see you at the next video.